where the House of Representatives has condemned the alleged mistreatment of Nigeria's Super Eagles and their delegation by the Libyan Football Federation and government. This followed a motion by Rep. Kabiru Amodu, PDP, Zamfara. During a plenary, the Super Eagles were scheduled to play a return fixture of the African Cup of Nations qualifier against Libya on October 15, 2024, after defeating Libya in Nigeria 1-0. Upon arrival in Libya, the Nigerian team and delegation, including House members and NFF officials, were stranded for 18 hours at the Al Abrak International Airport without basic amenities, access to food or communication. The players, frustrated by their treatment, initially considered not playing the match. The House condemned the incident and called for an investigation by the Committee on Sports and Foreign Affairs. This has been making headlines very recently, and I'm personally very close to one of the players of the Nigerian squad, and we got to talk, and I saw that most of them did not have a bed. Let me just basically a bed to sleep on. Some of them slept on a chair not as comfortable as the one I'm sitting on now. It's these iron chairs. So what do you think about this issue that has been happening with the Libyan international team?
It's an unfortunate situation. It shows neglect on the part of our leaders, and it's a picture of the state of Nigeria today.
Is it the fault of our leaders or the fault of the Libyan?
Yes, to a large extent, the fault of our leaders.
Okay.
You'll be treated with respect if you treat yourself. If you first respect yourself, respect is earned, right? As Nigeria has been described as the big brother of Africa, our foreign policy is geared and structured as the big brother of Africa. But other African countries and other countries of the world, they see how our Nigerian leaders treat our citizens. They see how we value and prioritize our people. They see the kind of poor treatment we give to our citizens. And it passes a message to them that, yes, these people, they are not really worth it. So if we can't put our house in order, we cannot be screaming and shouting, oh, why is it that the Libyans treated us so bad? It's very unfortunate, it's very sad to hear and to see that our Nigerians were treated poorly on a foreign soil while going to play football. And football is one of the sports that have helped to unify Nigeria. It is one of the sports that have brought joy to millions of Nigerians. They've lost faith in governance and leadership, in business and everything. But when you talk about football, it's like a religion of its own, if not the religion of its own. A lot of followers who are die-hard supporters of sports, they can spend their last penny to watch a football match. They can do anything for it. So football it's an important tool that we could even use in our foreign policy, diplomatic engagement with other countries. But are we tapping into it? Unfortunately, no, we are not tapping into it. Nigeria has always been a football giant, but are we the football giant today? What has happened to the Nigerian players should be condemned by all Nigerians.
Now, previously, the Libyan body in charge of the team came out to say that when they came to Nigeria on the first fixture, that they were not treated very well. Though they were treated fairly well as compared to what they did to Nigeria, but they were not treated very well in their wards, exactly. And do you think that is why because the airports, the person in charge of the plane that was supposed to take them to a different airport said that he got a call from top Libyan officials to redirect that plane to the Al Abrak International Airport. Do you think, and that's the smaller airport from the one they were supposed to land in, that has lesser amenities. Do you think it is because of what they alleged that Nigeria did to them when they came here that made them retaliate?
I think they're exploiting the weakness of Nigerians and Nigeria. They're exploiting our weakness. They have seen that we don't have strong leadership. And they have seen that our leaders, they have studied the pattern of the response or responses of our leaders. They know that they will condemn it, and after they condemn it, they, one white paper, one conference, and that is the end of it. It doesn't see the light of the day. There's nothing concrete that you get out of it, except they're going to prove me wrong. Wash out this story. Once it dies off, that's the end of it.
So you're saying international African countries in the north do not fear Nigeria as the African giants?
Of course. How giant are we? Look at our players are being treated so poorly. It's not just our players. This is because it's football. That's what you're hearing. There are Nigerians in Libya. You are aware. And many of those Nigerians are used as slaves. We've heard reports of Nigerians that their kidneys have been harvested, their organs have been harvested. Many of them have been put in dehumanizing condition and situation, exploited, tortured. Some of them have lost their lives. What is the Nigerian embassy in Libya doing? Are they representing Nigerians? Are they working for Nigerians? Are they there for the interest of Nigeria? Are they there to protect Nigerians? What have they been doing? The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, what steps have they been taking? Not just this incidents of the football players being humiliated at the airports, but Nigerians in Libya. So this is a reflection of weak leadership, poor leadership. Poor leadership attracts poverty. Poor leadership attracts humiliation. Poor leadership attracts a lot of bad things and evil things, because they are exploiting that weakness, and that is why they can do it, and they know they are going to do it and go scot-free.
Do you think this is going to affect the Nigerian national team? Because the CAF, the Confederation of African Football, have come out to say that this fixture will be moved to a different date and it will be played, and it has solicited with the Nigerian team. Do you think that when they later come back to play this game, it's going to affect and demoralize us, or to make us lose? Or would this be one of the matches that would be so interesting because there's now a lot of bad blood, per se, between these two players, these two national team players?
It depends on what you do with it. Pain and pleasure are two of the greatest things that can influence someone positively or damage someone. Pain and pleasure can build you or can destroy you. Now, what do you do with your pain? What do you do with your pain? There's an energy that you can draw out of pain. There's an energy you can tap out of your pain. Now, they have been humiliated. They have been dehumanized. They have been, like an object of scorn, mocked. They are there to represent Nigeria in Libya, and they were humiliated, and they faced this unpleasant situation. It now depends on them what they can do with their pain. It can inspire them to play and give their best, or it can demoralize them. So pain and pleasure are two of the greatest things that can shape you or distort you. What do you do with your pain? Okay, will you allow your pain to just go to waste, or will you tap into the energy of your pain to challenge you to defy the odds, to go beyond the average, to push further, to fight more, to stretch yourself, to wear that garment of national pride, that we are the flying eagles, and that is who we are as Nigerians. And the eagle does not go to sleep because there is a storm, but he rises above the storm. So this is a storm. It is not just for the players that went to represent Nigeria, but for over 200 million Nigerians, this is a storm. So what we do with our pain, we determine whether we are not just going to win a match. It's not just about winning a match. It's about that national sense of pride. It's about that can-do spirit, that drive and push, that will that cannot be broken.
How does the NFF stop this? What measures should be put in place now to stop? Because other African countries are watching. They are watching this play out. It's a national thing that was reported by a lot of sports personnel and government officials. Other African countries are watching and saying, oh, this is how Nigeria is being treated, and this is how they're going to respond. How do we stop this going forward from happening to us again?
The first thing, we need to put our house in order. we need to start treating Nigerians with respect. We need to respect and love ourselves. We need to prioritize ourselves, not just in sports. Our doctors, our teachers, our journalists, we need to treat Nigerians. We Nigerians, we need to respect and love ourselves, value our own. If you don't value yourself, you can't be valued by outsiders. The Nigerian Football Federation must sit down and tell themselves that they have failed, not just because the Nigerian players were humiliated in Libya, but they have failed to work together as a team to ensure that such things do not reoccur or happen. Because this is not the first time it has been happening, so they have failed. Now they need to tell themselves the truth and learn from it. And there should be some punishments. Now, when a child is misbehaving, you don't pat the child and say, keep on. You don't incentivize or you don't subsidize bad behavior. You give it, if you subsidize bad behavior, or if you incentivize bad behavior, you add more fuel to it. You make it, you strengthen it, you make it stronger. But rather, you correct it. So if the Libyan Football Federation, if they don't get if they don't receive sanctions, they'll feel like, oh, we can do this again. They should be sanctioned because this is disrespecting over 200 million Nigerians.